this new menu, A Flurry of Flavor?
Princess Bear here today. We're hanging out at Disney's Contemporary Resort because it's time to return to
California Grill.
Yes, we're headed to the tippy top of this hotel because it's time to go back because they got new things. So we're here to investigate. Remember, she's vegan. I'm not. I'm not getting grilled this time.
It's time to foodie and chill. So here we have the sourdough bread that we've had multiple times that has been turned into rolls, and I'm just going to take a little piece here. They do not do earth balance, but they still have the greatest sauce here with the sun-dried tomatoes. So you get a little bit of this action, and let's commit to this delicious mistake. As usual, it tastes like the pizza of my dreams. This is literally an addiction. I give it a 5 out of 5. It is a princessity's item. The bread here is amazing. I wish they did like earth balance situation, but just the dippings are amazing.
And yes, I switched ears in between the intro to this video and now because of one of our favorite bartenders here at the Temporary Resort down at Steakhouse 71, Daniel, always gives me a hard time because the princess comes out, you know, looking like a goddess, and I come out looking like a bum with no ears, even though I do own my own ears, like 8 pairs. I never wear them. And Princess obviously has like, you know, 200-300 pairs of ears at this point. So he felt bad for me, 400 pairs of ears, and he's like, you can't come out looking like you do with her. But he's like, I'm going to get you a pair of ears. Right? Daniel got me a pair of ears, and I'm going to wear them in his honor. If you go see Daniel, or Mike, or Kate, or any other bartenders out at Steakhouse 71, and I find out that you didn't tip them, I will find you. You're not welcome here if you don't. Always tip your bartenders. Not so hot take. The big sourdough loaf they used to give you here, great, fantastic, lovely, but it was kind of a mess. Every single time you tried to tear a piece off that bread, crumbs everywhere. Now, you have rolls that you can tear apart easily over the little plate they give you. It works so much better, and it's far less messy. So while aesthetically, it's probably not as cute as like a whole loaf of bread, it's still like a more contained mess, and I'm all for that. This is another one of those bread services you get at a restaurant that the princess will 100% devour on her own. And if they didn't do prefix here, you can easily come here and get this and just leave. If you go to the bar's not limited to prefix, get this. Ask for the bread. Don't be shy. You're already paying for drinks. The sourdough rolls here are a prime example of what it is when the simple things are done not just right, but perfectly. Perfectly crisp sourdough. That crust on it, the inside nice and warm. And then you have the dipping, which is literally just, you know, sun-dried tomato, olive oil, garlic, and some other things. It's not exotic ingredients from the eastern side of Morocco. It's nice, very crisp, very fresh ingredients executed to the peak, which is what makes California Grill one of the best restaurants in Walt Disney World. Is it a little bit pricey? Yes. But every now and then, you come to Walt Disney World, you should treat yourself. There is more to do in this resort than simply go to the parks. And dinners like California Grill is definitely one of them. This bread, 4.5 out of 5 claws. It don't miss.
So my favorite forbidden rice sushi roll is back. I'm gonna dip it in the soy sauce, and let's go for some perfection, because there's no place else around Walt Disney World that does better vegan sushi than California Grill. That is literally the stuff of dreams. It's so crispy, it's so fresh, got a little bit of umami in there. So good. It is a 5 out of 5. It is a princess's item. I'm so glad that some form of vegan sushi is back on the California Grill menu. It's so good.
So this beautimous looking roll of deliciousness is the Tempura Lion's Mane roll, which is already a mouthful. In food description form, But you have lion's mane mushroom, which is the star of this roll, with the forbidden rice you've seen here a few times at California Grill. They do the forbidden rice very well, along with some asparagus, some carrots, some avocado dressing here on the side. They do veggie rolls here well. The only place that even comes close, sometimes better than here, is probably Shiki Sai, on property for vegan rolls, but those rolls are more basic. Oh, it's fancy. Think of like a fancy upscale roll. Unfortunately, your only option as a vegan would probably be California Grill, but you will not be disappointed. It's a very woody roll. Like, it feels like it was rolled fresh on the moss of the forest floor. And it's probably mostly the lion's mane mushroom, as it should be, being the star of the dish. Forbidden rice is hard to work with. We have bought forbidden rice at home, and pairing forbidden rice with anything is hard because it is a strong rice flavor. Unlike most rice you usually try, but they always manage to do something unique and very elevated here with it, and it just sort of works. You get a mouthful of earth while still feeling very much like sushi. I would give it 4.5 out of 5 claws. It's a treat that will whet your appetite. Here we have another farm fresh salad here at California Grill. This is a baby beets, greens. You have some seasoned pears in here. Like, they're always doing different things with very fresh ingredients here. California Grill's menu, for those of you who don't come here as often as we do, and I don't, no one insists you do, is very, very seasonal. They're always trying to get veggies, fruits, whatever, at the peak of the season of whatever the menu is changing. So you will see some like very interesting combinations of veggies that you don't normally see at most restaurants. And every time you come back, even if it's the same thing on the menu, it might be slightly different based on whatever vegetables are in season. So this is literally a farmer's salad. Whatever the farmer's got is what you're getting. Even as a foodie, I never would have considered the pairing of beets and pears. You would think those two are completely unrelated. They do like the Paula Abdul thing, opposites attract, maybe, maybe not. But that earthiness and like that sharp tartness you get from like a nice cooked beet, and that subtle sweet of a pear. Because you know pears are like sweet, they're not like overly sweet. It's not a grape. Sort of like gives you the perfect marriage of both the earthiness and the sweet. It's like a Nature's Bounty, but in a salad, which is what a salad should be. I'm impressed. Beets and salad, or beets and pears, is my new salad favorite. Previously, it was pecans and strawberries, but I think I've been turned. Probably to the dark side. I give it 4.25 out of 5. A barbecued American eel roll. What is an American eel? I have absolutely no idea. Does it not know what a tariff is? I'm not really sure. But I love eel. Unagi in any form, be it American or not, I'm gonna eat it. You have crispy garlic on top. You have a dragon sauce. I usually expect eel sauce, but you know what? I feel like someone in the kitchen knows how much I love eel and just went all out. And I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna take this entire piece of eel here and shove it in my bare mouth. When I say barbecued eel, it is definitely giving you barbecue flavors. It feels smoky. The skin on eel, which is basically the only way you should ever give it. Anybody who serves you eel with no skin on it, they got no skin in the game. They don't got no cloaks, they don't got no enchantments. I'm telling you, they're lost. In the woods at that. It's beautiful. The eel sits perfectly, the sauce on it gives it that nice sweetness that pairs well with a nice cooked unagi. And when they say crispy garlic, they mean crispy. It's almost like garlic chips on top, like tiny ones, like little garlic balls. And it just sort of works. It's probably one of the best eel rolls I've had, and honestly now, I just want a bowl of unagi dime at this point. Just rice and a big slab of eel. And I know, as my favorite vegan shakes her head at me, I get it, but eel's delicious. And that's probably one of the few reasons I could probably never give up being a flexitarian is I love fish too much. So I'm a bear, I think. I give this 5 out of 5 claws. If you love eel and you come here, you need to try this. It is a bare necessity at Peak.
Here we go with the beautiful newest addition to the California Grill menu, the sweet potato gnocchi. And this looks like mostly sweet potato with some cranberry and then a little bit of like potato gnocchi here. So not like a sweet potato made gnocchi like we have potentially had in the past, but more of like a deconstructed gnocchi that we gotta like get pieces of. So let me get the pieces of. And let's see if it's everything that I hope it'll be. It's so good that we gotta have lots of it in town. It's a super flavorful gnocchi. And I want everybody to try. It's so good. I cannot resist taking another bite. 4.75 out of 5 gnocchi. This is probably one of the better gnocchi I've had on Walt Disney World property.
In seasonal fashion, this looks like fall on a plate. You have beautiful displays of pecans and butternut squash, and then you have like the gnocchi, which is like a sweet potato variety. You see potato gnocchi a lot, but sweet potato gnocchi is something a little bit different. You got some cranberries and everything else on here. It's literally your fall family garden on a plate. It's like pre-Thanksgiving dinner, and we're here for it. Gnocchi is usually all about the sauce, the fixings, everything that goes with it, because gnocchi itself is really just, you know, balls of potato, whatever else you decide to make gnocchi out of. But when you get everything else in here, that's what starts to come together. It tells a story. Like cottage core, if you will, but gnocchi style. You know, I joked about, and I'm mostly a joker. If you see me on this channel, 98% of the time, I am a seriously unserious person. I don't take anything seriously, even when I probably should. So when I look at the ingredients, I'm like, this looks like fall on a plate. This is like Thanksgiving leftovers on a plate. It tastes like you scooped most of the leftovers you have from Thanksgiving, minus the meat, obviously, on a plate. That's what I got. I'm getting flavors of like the stuffing and sweet potatoes, the cranberry sauce mixed in. The dish is made with a lot of care. Like I can taste each individual ingredient, how it's prepared, but together, it's more than a flavor and more a feeling. It feels like fall. Both in your mouth, both in your taste buds, the texture of it. It's a fall plate. And that's what they mean by seasonal here. And they sell the seasons. Well, prefix price, but they sell the seasons. I give that 4.75 out of 5 stars. These are one of those instances where, like, even if you aren't vegan and you want something a bit lighter, you should order this. Fantastic. So they're serving up the wild game. This time you have a venison strip loin, brand new on the menu for this seasonal change, with a cranberry demi-glaze. Now normally you get cuts of venison, you don't normally see venison cut in like strip loin, so it's a far different cut you normally get. You have some baby Brussels sprouts in here, some other root veggies, a little puree. It's pretty looking. They pour some glaze on here, and then they give you more glaze to add if you so wish. So you control the sort of richness that you get. Now they do ask you how you want it to cook. Like every other restaurant we go to on Disney property, if I want to order anything that's going to be cooked to a certain temperature, I'll link it as chef's choice. Because I want it how they want it served, and this choice is medium rare. And you can get it cooked however you want. Even if you want to be super raw and get it well done, you can in fact do that. With those flavors, the tenderness, suddenly the beginning of Bambi makes a lot more sense. Still sad. Still very sad, don't get me wrong. And I know a lot of you have come from the comments for that comment. I love Bambi, don't get me wrong, but Bambi's mother's kind of tasty. Just saying. That cranberry demi-glaze is like rich and tart. It's tending to be like overly sweet, but it goes very well with the richness of the venison. And that cut is like, it goes beyond like meat candy. It's like almost like meat magic, if you will, because it literally disappears in your mouth, but leaves all the flavor. That is excellent. Let's try some of these sides. Some of these baby Brussels sprouts and the root vegetables. A smaller cut of the venison. I feel like my taste buds left me and went on an epic quest without me. That is excellent. Every time we come here, I am worried to the depths of my foodie soul that this is going to be the time that they get something wrong. Because just playing the odds, every restaurant has a bad day. Every restaurant has a bad menu item. California Grill's level of consistency to exceeding what I expect is almost scary. But if you ever met or even had a conversation with the chef team here, and you should, they put a lot of care and love into what they make and each ingredient, and that shows on the plate. This is why we recommend this as one of the places you should come for like anniversary or a special date night, because these are dinners that will stay with you. Both in flavors and memory. The view, believe it or not, is secondary to what you're going to get on your plate. That's why we love this place. This is a 5 out of 5 claws, some of the Bear Sesame's list. If you've never tried venison, spoil yourself. It's already prefixed anyway.
So the La Crema Rosé, one of many options that are vegan. You can find lots of different wines here at California Grill. We had to try one, so La Crema Rosé, light, bright, amazing, and wonderful. I really enjoy this wine. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 wines. It makes me feel kind of fine.
La Crema Rosé, because wine with the view this fine makes me want to dine. I never really launched my career as a rapper, and you obviously see why. Is that right? I don't know. Either way, wine and California Grill, it's California-ish. You know, you gotta feel sorry for them sometimes when you drink wine in their presence. You don't feel so bad. Right, Princess? No? It's a nice, crisp rosé. Not too harsh, not too dry. Not gonna give you like the throat burns. It's nice and drinkable. Will go well with some nice cooked plant-based foods. I would give it 4 out of 5 claws. It will do with this food. They have a holiday old-fashioned here, and he started to tell me what was in the drink, and I stopped listening at cranberry-infused Maker's Mark. Was all you need to know. So it's cranberry-infused Maker's Mark, bitters, and a little bit of cranberry. Got some rosemary in there, some cranberries in the stick. It looks beautiful. Let's see how it sits. Ooh, that smells like the holidays. Oh. It's like joyous tidings and goodwill to all. To all a good night and all that jazz. It's very smooth. I love Maker's Mark. If I have to pick a whiskey, period, and I'm picking like, you know, for anybody that doesn't normally drink whiskey, I'm gonna pick Maker's Mark. It's nice and smooth. It does well. However, they've infused this Maker's Mark makes me feel like I have not been drinking to my full potential when I'm at home, and I need to start infusing my alcohol with different things. I need to become a cocktail chemist, if you will. This is delicious. If you're here for the holidays, and you should be, I give it 5 out of 5 claws. You need to try this beverage. It gets the bare necessity stamp of approval.
the newest dessert that we have had here at California Grill is very different from the peanut butter torte that we had in the past. It's our second time having this dessert, and I'm kind of excited to get it all together. It should be like a little cake. Cheers. Definitely like a berry cake. I'm into it. I like it better than the torte, but I think like there could still be some elevation pieces to it. I'm gonna give it like a 3.5 out of 5 desserts. It's okay, but it's not like my favorite.
Berries and cream. I'm going somewhere with that, but I feel like there's some trauma blocking the berries and cream in the back of my mind. Just dig in, nice creamy, a little bit of the crunch, a little bit of the fruit. Because you know what? Eating fruit never led us wrong. Did it? It's a very tart berry dish. I know when you see berries, you usually expect sweet, but it's very like on the tart side of the berry with the mousse. It's a nice consistency. It's very light, but it's missing like, I raved against the peanut butter torte here for a long time. The peanut butter torte was good, but it's here for far too long. I'd like to see the vegan desserts change as much as see everything else change. I understand, obviously, vegan desserts are a little bit more of a complicated bag. This is good, but I know that they can do that. I give it 3.5 out of 5. This beautiful decoration of fall on a plate is the caramel mousse with an apple spice cake. You have an apple spice cake here with a little caramel pool in the middle, some chantilly cream, caramel tool with some spiced apples. It's like your mother's apple pie has been juicing and came out alien-like. It's given berserk. It's given like Butamus. There's a pool of caramel. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. That should be X-rated. Somebody may want to go check on the people that own Werther's Candy because they are probably extremely upset because your whole brand just got distilled into a Disney dessert. The apple spice cake is subtle but punchy. That caramel with the chantilly cream. Woo! It's like a Werther's gusher in all the best ways. A little hand of the apple. This will make you understand why Snow White took a bite. And honestly, taking a bite of the apple, sleeping for 4 years, doesn't really sound that bad right now. I give this 4.75 out of 5 balls. We have a chocolate hazelnut tart with a shortbread cookie base, with a little bit of praline on top. And it's one thing people love. They love the hazelnut with chocolate. I don't understand the fad, but you know what? I'm a foodie. All I can do is eat it and hope it's good. I'm always worried about hazelnut overpowering flavors. And honestly, it works well with the chocolate. They strike a nice balance, like a teeter totter. They may like go back and forth in your mouth with the flavors, but ultimately it all balances out. It's a good dessert. If you like chocolate, you want chocolate-focused desserts, this is a dessert for you. I would give it a 3.75 out of 5 balls. We found the bear. That's really the only reason we come here. We don't come here to eat food. We don't come here to hang out at California Grill. We don't come to hang out with their amazing chef's team, the management, the cast members. No, we just come for the bear.
Shout out to Sergio. He's amazing.
The food here has always been amazing. This new seasonal menu has a lot of things that are very, very much fall. It's probably the only place you're going to find fall in Florida.
I do love the gnocchi.
Yes, the gnocchi was great. The new desserts are great. I'm really trying to find something not to like about this restaurant, but they're so consistently good. They're making it kind of hard. We're here to hate, and you're not giving me anything to hate on. That's like my one gripe. I have nothing to hate on. But
I agree.
I don't know what you guys think. Why don't you come to California Grill more? Are you still hating on the prefix menu? let us know in the comments below. And if there's anything else you'd see us do, that will always be the place to find us. Hit that notification bell if you want to see other videos like this. And
we have new videos 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe and like this video. And if you don't comment, well, Bear's just gonna cry his way into the recipe and just become one with the Contemporary Resort.
What am I, a moaning myrtle?
Yes.
You heard the girl. Do you fear death? Do you fear that black abyss? All your sins punished, deeds laid bare, I can offer you an escape. 10,000 years on the Mask of the Flying Dutchman. What say ye?
No.